Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. With the name of Allah Almighty, the most beneficent, the most merciful, we are starting a very exclusive diplomatic conversation, diplomatic interview with His Excellency Yerzhan. Yes, Yerzhan is a good friend of mine. Last 3 years back, we met at the Serena Hotels when he was just newly come at the dinner hosted by Zahid Latif Khan's. And since then, I am seeing His Excellency is really making hard efforts to bring bilateral trade between Pakistan and Kazakhstan. And trust me, before his arrival to Islamabad, very few people know about Kazakhstan. Now, the last 3 years, he made a big difference. And this is all the untiring efforts of his team and as well as His Excellency Yerzhan. Sir, thank you very much for giving your time and out of your very precious time, sir. Sir, please enlighten me, His Excellency. After the independence of Kazakhstan in 1991, the Pakistan recognized Kazakhstan as an independent state. What are the achievements? What are the relationship of Pakistan bilateral trade and investment related with Kazakhstan and Pakistan? Over to you, sir.
First of all, thank you so much for coming. It's a great pleasure for me to host you. And thank you so much for your high assessment of my modest contribution to developing cooperation between our two brotherly countries. So going back to your question, from the very beginning, Pakistan was one of the first countries who recognized our independence.
In 1991?
In 1991. Since then, we've been developing cooperation gradually between Kazakhstan and Pakistan. Last, example, the bright example, I would say, is the first ever visit of our Prime Minister to Islamabad for the SCO summit that took place this month in the middle of
yes,
October.
last week.
Yeah. So it was a great success. Our sincere congratulations. And apart from the participation at the SCO summit, we also had bilateral talks with His Excellency Prime Minister Sheikh Bashar. And we had great talks in depth with regard to our bilateral cooperation. So when it comes to our political dialogue, I must say that we have developed an excellent, a very candid dialogue. But when it comes to our economic ties, economic cooperation, we are unfortunately still far beyond from the real potential that we have. Even despite the fact that last year our bilateral trade has doubled in comparison to the previous
last 3 years.
No, last year. Last year, yes.
3 times it is increased.
So our trade has doubled, and we reached almost $200 million. But still, it's nothing. When it comes to potential of Pakistan and Kazakhstan, I believe that 1 billion is a must. So we have to, first of all, address those issues that create some hurdles in terms of boosting bilateral trade. And one of these issues is our connectivity.
Connectivity is the biggest challenge because there is no direct flight, just like Baku.
And the thing is that last year we launched direct flights from Lahore to Almaty. It's a 2-hour flight. We are not far from each other. It's like
2
Islamabad,
hours,
Karachi. Yeah, just 2 hours. Next year, inshallah, we are planning to resume our flights from Lahore to Almaty. And then our next target is to establish flights from Karachi to Shymkent. So we will be working on this next year. Another very important part is developing land routes. And we've been working hard in collaboration with the NLC and with the TCS, the biggest, logistics companies. And this year we got a breakthrough. For the first time ever, we organized a multimodal cargo transportation from Kazakhstan, our northern area, all the way down to Dubai via Karachi seaport.
Okay.
And then from Karachi seaport, we delivered pharmaceutical goods to Baku, Azerbaijan, via Aktau seaport, Kazakh Aktau seaport. So we proved that this route, which goes through Afghanistan and Pakistan, is operational, is viable and sustainable. Now what we need to do, we need to create a secure environment. In this term, we have to strengthen collaboration between our two nations at different levels, and definitely it will contribute to strengthening our, first of all, economic cooperation.
To connectivity, you told any other challenges from the government part, any other parts, any other challenges as well?
Another issue that we need to address is lack of information. Just like you rightly mentioned, Pakistan still knows little about Kazakhstan.
Yes.
And vice versa. In Kazakhstan, people still know little about Pakistan. So we need to fill the gap. And I met with Minister of Information. On regular basis, I meet with different representatives of your media community. So the idea is to develop direct interaction between our media communities. Otherwise, today what we see is that news about Pakistan we receive from third sites. And same with Kazakhstan. News about Kazakhstan, Pakistan receives from third sites. What we need to do, we need to establish, for example, offices. Tomorrow I'm going to meet with the leadership of the PTV world. So we want them to establish their office in Kazakhstan, to broadcast and to share news about the latest developments in Kazakhstan, what is happening on the ground.
Very good.
And the same should be done from our side. We want one of our leading TV channels to establish their office in Islamabad.
Very good.
And to share this news, because frankly speaking, nowadays we receive only bad news about Pakistan, about Kazakhstan, unfortunately. So we should promote our soft images. We should raise awareness of our people on the real situation on the ground and on the potential that we have in terms of developing our bilateral cooperation and regional cooperation.
You are absolutely right, because our so-called media anchors people, they only project the negative news rather than the positive news. Ambassador of Pakistan in Kazakhstan is also my friend. He was posted earlier in UK. Connectivity. What are the challenges regarding language barriers as well as cultural barriers? What do you say?
Nowadays, when it comes to language barrier, I think it's not a big deal. It's not a big problem.
How?
Especially for business people. Nowadays, we have so many different devices, so many different apps that can...
Yes, we can translate.
Exactly. That can easily help us in terms of communicating. Now, when it comes to cultures, when it comes to traditions, this is our advantage. In fact, in terms of our cultural heritage, we have so many things in common. And whenever I invite Pakistanis, and I invite you as well to visit Kazakhstan, people after visit to Kazakhstan, they say that we came to know that we have so many things in common. Be it culture, our cuisine, history, tradition, so on and so forth. So, in fact, we are very close to each other. The problem is that at a certain point of our history, we lost our connections.
True.
Now, I always stress, it is not about developing cooperation, it is about reviving those relations that we used to enjoy in the past. And in fact, if we, connect our people-to-people ties, our B2B, our, societies will come to know that we have so many things in common, and we are not just neighbors and other neighbors in the region, we are very close to each other nations.
MashaAllah. So what is regarding the education, because there are a few challenges previously, I will not highlight the issues, but what are still the students' opportunity for education, because a lot of opportunities for especially Pakistan students are studying in Kazakhstan universities. What are the more opportunities for Pakistan students as well as the Kazakh students in Pakistan universities?
Recently, a new Minister of Higher Education and Science was appointed in Kazakhstan. He's a brilliant gentleman. What he's doing, he's developing collaboration between our Kazakh universities and leading universities of the world. As of today, we are planning to establish 33 international campuses in collaboration with leading universities from the UK, USA.
In Kazakhstan?
Yes, South Korea, China, Russia, France, and many others, Japan, Singapore, so on and so forth. 33, can you imagine?
Wow.
And the idea is to establish these campuses, not just in our capital or the biggest cities, to establish these campuses in different regions of Kazakhstan, to give the opportunity to our youngsters, doesn't matter where they are, to study and to have this so-called dual education. And in this term, I must say that we are developing our educational system not just for Kazakhstan alone. We are developing our educational regional hub. We want to invite our brothers from neighboring countries to use these opportunities as well. And of course, we will be more than happy to invite Pakistanis to study at our technical universities, at our law universities, so on and so forth. Nowadays, most of the Pakistanis, they are studying at our medical universities. But frankly speaking, in the midterm perspectives, what I see is that the number of students will be growing. And what we are planning to do in terms of education, we are planning to establish a joint working group at the level of our authorities, a joint working group on education and youth affairs. I met with leadership of the HEC. Okay. And we discussed this issue. Then I met with the leadership of the Ministry of Education from both sides. So in principle, we agreed on the modalities. Now the next step is to arrange a visit of the HEC chairman, Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed, okay, along with the leading universities. Another idea is to establish a forum of universities of Pakistan and Kazakhstan. For example, from both sides, we can select up to 10, 15 leading universities. From your side, it could be Qaid Azam University, NAST, NAML, University of Punjab, big universities, yes. Recently, for example, Prorector of NAST University, Mr. Osman, he visited Astana, okay, and he had talks. So this is what we do, and I do believe that education is a very important dimension in terms of strengthening our people-to-people ties.
True, because the connectivity, that's
exactly,
the people,
exactly.
young people.
And another very important part of education is, contributing to stability of Pakistan. We know that literacy level is relatively low, so Kazakhstan can help a lot in this time.
And one important question to His Excellency, Mr. Yerzhan, is regarding that information technology and artificial intelligence, because these are the buzzwords of the day. Sir, what do you say? What is a bilateral relationship? What the role of technology? Because Pakistan is high-skilled, English-speaking, young, 65% population, almost 160 million young people. How they can contribute, either countries, either states, regarding that information technology, especially the future of AI?
In general, when it comes to IT, I must say that Kazakhstan is doing quite well. Okay. There is a UN index, United Nations index, on e-gov services, electronic governance services. So last year we were ranked as 26th in the world. 26th in the world. Okay. So we are doing quite well. Sitting here from Islamabad, I can apply for e-gov services in Astana, and within 3 days they have to complete my order, or to consider my application. Okay. Then in terms of fintech, I believe number one in the region, because now in Central Asia, and I think not only in Central Asia, in Eurasia, because nowadays our people, they don't carry their wallets, their credit cards. Everything is done through the phone, through bank apps, everything. And our bank apps connected to our e-gov services. Okay. So everything is interconnected. And you don't need to, for example, if you drive your car, you don't need to carry with you your driver's license. Everything is in your phone. In your system. So we are doing quite well, and we want to develop cooperation in the IT sector and telecommunications. 2 months back, we organized first talks at the level of our relevant ministers. State Minister of IT Telecommunications and Minister of IT of Kazakhstan. They met online. They discussed prospects for developing cooperation. We are planning, inshallah, to sign an MOU to develop a legal framework for our interaction. And I hope that, inshallah, next month, a big delegation from the IT sector of Kazakhstan will be visiting Pakistan.
Pakistan?
Yes. And then, again, we always develop a regional approach. In Kazakhstan, we established so-called Astana IT Hub.
Okay.
Astana IT Hub. 2 years back, such companies as Microsoft, Google, they signed agreements to establish collaboration and to establish their offices at this Astana IT Hub.
IT Hub?
Yes.
But it's a very bright future of...
yes. Again, the idea is to develop IT sector not only for Kazakhstan,
but for the region.
Exactly, exactly. We do believe, and our president stressed several times, that if Central Asia is successful, it means that Kazakhstan is successful. So we do understand that regional...
It's a big thing, big approach.
Yeah. So it's a kind of big scale thinking, big scale approach.
MashaAllah. Yeah. No, coming to the last part of my question here is, being an ambassador, ambassadors are also the leaders who lead their businesses, the economies of the country. What is leadership to you, to Yerzhan?
For me, leadership, first of all, to motivate my team, my people,
Yes.
to to contribute to our common cause.
Okay.
It's not about me.
It is about the.
It's not about even. It's not about embassy. It's about reconnecting our two brotherly nations.
That's
It's a great
real
cause.
leadership.
And this is the way we should develop our approach. We should treating each other. We are reconnecting our nations. This is the only way I think we can develop a multi-dimensional, holistic approach for all of us. And my main mission as ambassador, I see as giving inspiration, giving motivation, not only to the members of my team, but to all people, with whom I communicate, with whom I meet on regular basis. Because after all, we cannot do all these things alone. And for example, when it comes to connectivity, we are working with different companies. Just yesterday, I received our friends from the TCS company. So the idea is to share our vision, to share our approach, and to motivate them, because when it comes to Kazakhstan and Pakistan, it is not only about our bilateral relations, it is not only about Central South Asia, it is far beyond. We can connect continents, African continent, Gulf countries, Southeast Asian nations, big Eurasia. So we should think on a large scale, and we should develop such approach. I always say that if someone say that you should think outside the box, I always say that you should think outside the region. Because in our case, Kazakhstan and Pakistan can serve as a regional transit hub connecting nations. And this is the way we should approach our
excellent
relations.
approach. Now coming to the next part, regarding emotional intelligence, because why emotional intelligence is very important for an ambassador.
Ambassador, my role is to I always stress that the role of ambassador is to build bridges.
Yes.
As many bridges as we can. It's all about communications. It's all about exactly. It's all about connectivity.
Trust, build trust.
Exactly. It's all about people to people after all.
Yes.
And you are absolutely right that the first thing that we need to do, we need to create an environment of trust.
Trust.
People should trust you. If you want people to trust you, you have to be a credible person, and you have to create these kind of emotional connections as well. You should treat people in a way to motivate them, to
inspire them.
Exactly, to inspire them to contribute to developing cooperation with my country.
And that is very important. How do you manage work-life balance?
Frankly speaking, nowadays
all the time I see you on your social media, you are traveling, meeting.
Yeah. Frankly speaking, nowadays it's a very challenging issue for me. But thanks to my team, thanks to those people who work with me in my embassy, I managed to balance. When I have time, I go to the fitness club. I try to spend as much time with my family as I can. But frankly speaking, nowadays, most of my time spent for doing something tangible. Because what I see, again, to be honest with you, the things that we are doing today, we should have done all these things something like 5-7 years back.
Okay.
So we are already late.
Yes, but you are very, mashallah, you are, last 3 years I'm seeing your progress, you are very robust and very hyperactive.
Thank you so much.
So before you're coming to Pakistan, nobody knew about Astana and even Kazakhstan. And one thing I give the comments to you, whenever I see you in different activities, your life partner is with you. Yeah. Very few ambassadors are with their life partners.
Yeah.
You are, I think you balance with this work-life balance with your partner. And last 2-3 questions, short question. Who's your inspiration?
Who is my inspiration?
Your role model. You take the inspiration.
My main inspiration, Ali Khan Bokikhanullah, our leader of our nation, who was in favor of our independence at the beginning of last century.
Okay.
But then he was executed by the Soviets. And of course, Yerzhan Mamuşlı. Yerzhan Mamuşlı is one of the most, I would say, famous heroes of our nation.
MashaAllah.
He was one of those people who contributed to our victory during the Second World War.
Second World.
And even one writer dedicated a book to his life, to his legacy. And Fidel Castro invited him to Cuba, because he has developed a unique approach in terms of military operations. And he was very strong, very honest person, straightforward, and this is the reason why not many people liked him. But he was very honest and very noble person. So I think these two people are my heroes and my kind of examples. Yes.
Your favorite book?
My favorite book. It's very
any 1, 2, 3 on leadership, on biography, history.
My favorite big book is the Holy Quran.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. I really inspired. Your favorite destination you love to visit again and again?
Again and again.
You love to visit?
Frankly speaking, there are so many destinations. When we talk about Pakistan, whenever I visit Lahore, I always feel this kind of inspiration. Okay. Whenever I visit Badshahi Mosque, Fort Lahore, because Badshahi Mosque was built by those people from our land, ancestors from Central Asia, and I always feel this kind of
connectivity.
Exactly, historical connectivity. So I think that Lahore, and of course your northern area, it's something amazing, stunning. You have to develop tourism. This is very important.
Very important. Yeah. And your secret of happiness. You are always smiling. Whenever I see you, despite all the challenges, you are smiling. What is the secret of your smile and happiness?
It's hard to say. I believe that the main principle that I always advocate for is nothing is eternal. Nothing is eternal, you know. One day all of us will...
Everything is momentary. Next moment.
Sometimes I get furious. Sometimes I get extremely nervous. But I always try to, you know, to keep calm. Not always I'm successful in this term, but still I'm trying.
How do you manage anger? Anger management is very important.
You know, this is the most, I would say, one of the most difficult issues to manage anger.
We are humans.
We are humans. It's a very hard issue. Very hard. Sometimes I try to take time to stay alone.
Just stay alone,
to calm down.
Stay silent.
Otherwise, it's a very hard task. Especially when I'm here in Pakistan. As I told you, we are already late. So I'm trying to do everything very fast, very quickly. But not always it is possible. And sometimes I get nervous, I get furious. Why we can do this? Some of our issues that we are working on, we still didn't complete our tasks for more than 2 or 3 years. For me, it's too long. But when I meet with people, with our counterparts, they have their own reasons, and I have to understand. I have to, to be, I would say, cooperative in this time.
My second last question is regarding difficult decisions you made in life till now.
Many decisions were made.
1, 2 difficult decisions. Churchill was asked, the Prime Minister of British UK, United Kingdom, what the difficult decision? He replied, difficult decision was to convince my wife to marry with me. What was your difficult decision?
No, frankly speaking, difficult decisions, I think every person makes difficult decisions on a regular basis. When it comes to me, for me, difficult decisions are not about myself. They are about those people who are around me, about my team, about my relatives, about my kids. Sometimes we have to be tough. Sometimes we have to make people understand that this is not the way you should do. This is not the way you should, behave. And this is the most difficult task for me. And as an ambassador, from time to time, I have to be tough, even with my team. And this is one of the hardest things that I, go through on a regular basis.
Last question regarding your optimism about the relationship of Pakistan and Kazakhstan, and about the future of our relationships. Over to you, sir.
Pakistan has a great potential. We do believe that Pakistan is has bright future. It's one of the regional powers in our region, and Kazakhstan is also one of the leading countries in the region. So we do believe that if we connect our peoples, if we connect our potentials, if we develop cooperation in a way which will be beneficial not only for Kazakhstan and Pakistan but for the entire region. In this case, I think that the sky is the limit, and definitely I invite you all to visit Kazakhstan to explore the opportunities, including our business opportunities, investment opportunities, and to contribute to strengthening ties between our two brotherly nations.
Thank you very much. And last from my side, inshallah, in 2025, with Pakistan and Kazakhstan, the people, we are going to have the CEO summit,
inshallah,
and also we will establish one chapter of CEO Club and World CEO Forum, just like we did in Indonesia, Bali, and Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and Saudi Arabia, and London, UK. And next chapter is will be launching in Astana in 2025 with the collaboration of His Excellency Yerzhan. Really nice talking, really nice, great opportunities between Pakistan and Kazakhstan, and still I think a lot of room for improvement, especially the connectivity, either language, either physical, either visits, either education, either culture. We have a lot of things to share with each other, to have more harmony, more connectivity, and more businesses with each other. Thank you very much, His Excellency.
Thank you.
Really, बहुत शुक्रिया.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.